You're listening to Unlicensed Therapy with Ari Manis. Ari Manis.
Check. Ariana Grande, check.
What this recorder does, you could yell at the top of your lungs right now and you could whisper, and that's all usable. Hey, what's up? This is a podcast. Or you could yell at the top of your lungs.
And it won't peak?
It won't peak, and you could bring it all in post. It's all usable.
Wow. So, but you still set it to a certain level, yeah?
Yeah, but that's only for headphones, and so you don't need to do a lot in post. But essentially, you'll never ruin a podcast again. Have you ever ruined one? And you've done about last night for how many years?
So let's see if I can ruin this one. For about 5 or 6 years.
5 or 6 years. Have you ever lost a recording or gotten through it?
Oh, yeah. Rob Schneider's episode. To this day, I still lose sleep over it.
So what happened?
Almost 2 hours at his place. It took us about a year and a half. Sometimes you try to book. Are we going?
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you try to get guests, and it takes a little bit longer. People are busy.
Sure. Rob Schneider is a movie star.
Yes. There's a fine balance.
And you don't pay him to be on the podcast, right?
No. But you're paying me, right?
Of course. No, you know what's funny? Your assistant did ask for money.
Shut the fuck up.
I swear to God. She doesn't know we're friends.
By the way, ex-assistant.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What happened there?
Not my assistant, my manager's assistant. Manager and I split amicably about 3 days ago.
Damn. So right now you don't have a manager?
Jesus Christ, dude. We're just really
deep
diving.
You don't have a manager right now?
No.
That's surprising. You got a couple lined up, I bet. You
got
some meetings
lined
up.
Yeah. I got an agent and voiceover people, got a stand-up guy. But yeah, a manager also.
Back to this.
You need a manager. You need somebody.
I don't have anything. So.
That's fine.
Yeah.
You will.
Maybe.
Yeah, you will.
Maybe.
Not with that attitude. It's all, look, Henry Winkler told me very early on that his son.
You can't just name drop Henry Winkler without saying how you know Henry Winkler.
I was about to, and then I thought, should I, or should I just let that simmer and see how Ari responds?
You can't just say,
you took the bait.
Henry Winkler told me once upon a time.
Is that okay?
Oh, yeah.
I just pulled the headphone. By the way, for those of you watching at home and you're like, does Ari set up booby traps for his podcast guests?
Set it all
It's
up.
like the set from Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade.
It's a work in progress.
Max Winkler, Henry Winkler's son, now big-time Hollywood movie director, once was a fraternity brother of mine at API at USC, where I went to acting school.
And that's the Jewish fraternity, right?
Wow, dude. You're so nervous around Jews, you can't even say Jewish fraternity.
I just think Jews are a little bit gross. But anyway, continue. They're inbred. You know that, right?
What?
Jewish people are inbred.
What?
You didn't know that?
What?
Jewish people, the reason why they're prone to awkwardness, bigger noses, weird tendencies, awkward neurosis, it's because they were inbred as people.
So Henry Winkler's son was in my fraternity, and so we became buds. And then Henry, I met him for over Parents' Weekend when he came to the fraternity, and it was pretty on a weekend, and there were a lot of people around at the house at that afternoon. He walks in, he sees me, goes, "Excuse me, son." I go, "Whoa, what's up, man?" Just not very much like. And he goes, "I know," just recognizing like it's me. Very sweet, big smile on his face. And he goes, "I have my son Max's laundry here. Will you please hold on to it for me and make sure nothing happens to it? I know he's not here right now. Will you hold on to it for me?" I go, "For sure, dude. And it is an honor to meet you." He goes, "You're welcome. Thank you. Please don't do anything weird with his clothes." I go, "What do you mean?" He goes, "Don't shit on his clothes." Swear to God. And I go, "Shit on his clothes?" I go, "Mr. Winkler, why?" He goes, "We're in a fraternity. I don't know what you guys do. Shitting on clothes seems like something that would be at least number 3 on the list of things to do
now,
for a
fraternity. Is he trying to be funny, or is he just super neurotic?
A little bit of both.
Yeah.
And then I go, "You have my word, Henry Winkler, that I will not shit on your son's clothes." And by the way, I never thought I would say that sentence out loud. He starts laughing and he goes, "Thank you." And then I see him at some sort of fraternity event, and he goes, "Thank you so much for not shitting on Max's clothes," with a big smile on his face. And then, I was the only actor in the fraternity. So he took an extra liking to me, gave me his number, said, "Anytime you have advice," got me a job interning on Hollywood Squares when he was producing it in early 2000s.
That's awesome. Have you had him on the podcast?
In November, finally going to. And I was going to bring that up actually at one point in discussing the Rob Schneider episode that we lost from an audio malfunction, but the booking takes a minute sometimes, and that Rob took 2 years. Henry has now taken almost 5 years. I asked him when we started the podcast, which we're now coming up on 500 episodes, about 5 or 6 years ago. And it's now taken that long
How do you
to happen.
go? Let me ask you this.
Wait, isn't that crazy? Started the podcast, asked him as one of the first guests.
Yeah.
And now Brad's going to leave in December. And ALN will, by the way, continue on and continue upwards. And Henry's going to do it at the end of it.
It could only go upwards from Brad.
Too bad that joke was so early in the pod, because that's how you should close it. Can you take this part and put it at the end?
Or I'll just repeat the joke. A joke's better when you hear it the second time. I'll just say it again at the end.
We'll see. I need to set you up, though.
Okay.
There's no context and you just do it free balling.
That doesn't, I mean, to be honest, taking 5 years to get Henry Winkler is not surprising to me.
Not when you have a close personal relationship with him.
I guess. Oh, but I was going to ask you this.
But it's all timing. Again, there's a fine balance between, and I've found this out the hard way sometimes, where between being proactive and trying to, because we don't, I book the show. Brad's gotten us people, but it's like
overall, you're the booker.
And so there's a balance between like.
Is that your least favorite part of doing the podcast, the booking? What's your least favorite part?
No, because I know my intention, and a lot of people are. It's also you don't ask, you don't get. Like, shit, man. Was Sandra Bullock, she'd never done one, and it was like, I know I'm going to ask at some point, but it's all timing. I didn't want to just do it out of the blue. I waited till we were, just texting out of the blue and just about some bullshit, and then was like, oh, like, let's do it instead of just if you haven't seen somebody in a while and you just do it. Same thing with Henry. It's like I want to, when something organically happens and there's a reason to bring it up versus just like, hey, can you do this for me? But then again, there are people in my life that I can do that to that know like. Yeah, like it's.
See, for me, it's my least favorite part is asking.
You get used to it, though.
That's why I have. I didn't even book you. I said to my booker, "Get me Adam Ray."
Oh my god!
And that's why he went through the assistant, and the assistant didn't know we were friends because she was going through the booker.
What did she say?
She said,
"Wait, what was the quote?"
She was nice. It wasn't. It was all friendly. It was all over email. But she doesn't.
She's
know
great. She also is very new.
Yeah, she doesn't know that we know each other. So she just said, "Is Adam going to be compensated for transportation?" That's all. So she was inquired to get money. That's her doing a good job.
Fuck yeah, dude.
She's a go-getter.
She will crush it in this business because she's very attentive to detail. But
yeah. And
by the way, had I known that, I would have had you pay for my Uber today.
So my booker said, of course, we'll compensate Adam for his Uber or gas or whatever. And then I said to him, hey, in the future, don't offer compensation because.
By the way, I came from Burbank today.
I said, I know,
like
I've known Adam long
Uber.
enough. I go where I'm not paying Adam a goddamn dime. And
you don't have to be an asshole about it.
And I said, hey, it's all good. We're gonna pay Adam. It's all good. He's like, hey, if you want, you could take it out of my pay for booking. And I said, no, you're still getting paid, but just for the future, talk about that stuff ahead of time because I don't pay anyone. I don't pay anyone a goddamn thing. This is my garage.
Yep.
And in fact,
I don't think nobody was debating whose garage it was.
Well, I rent it.
No one's walking by this garage, by the way, going, hey, whose garage is that?
Oh, a follow-up question on Henry Winkler.
Yeah.
When you were getting to know Henry, did his son care at all that you fanboyed out about his dad? Or did he like it?
I didn't really fanboy out. I kept it pretty cool. But Max, Max and I were so cool at that point that
he didn't care.
Oh, you're saying like when I developed a friendship with Max, did I go, man, your dad's...
if Max is around and you said to him, man, I love your dad, like you're pretty cool, but your dad, oh my God, I love him. Does he care about that?
No, but I also think I did it in a, pretty calm manner where we had gotten to be homies for a little bit. And then I think I was like, dude, do you just have like insane story? Like what sort of Happy Days tales did he ever divulge? And then we kind of laugh about it, smoke a blunt, and then he tells,
He's kind of like,
so if you don't do it out of the gate, again, it's like having a little bit of tact, dude.
Of course. Yeah. But for example, Adam Sandler's nephew.
Yeah. Tyler.
Not Tyler.
Jared.
Jared.
Yeah.
So nice. So cool.
Great kid.
Friends, cool guy. See him around the comedy scene. I just don't bring up Adam Sandler, not because I don't want to, just because like he's his own person. He's probably
it's cool move.
Doesn't want to hear about that.
Let him bring it up.
Yeah, and he does, but but of course in my head, I'm like, tell me a crazy story, something like that.
And a time will probably happen where that'll come up. It's always better to let it happen organically.
Oh, and then my other question is, so you said took 2 years to get Rob Schneider.
Yeah.
5 years to get Henry Winkler.
Yeah.
Now you're not afraid to ask people for something.
No,
I would say
I think
not you have you're great about it. Not that there's the aggressive move. I wouldn't say you're overly aggressive, but you're not afraid to say, hey, could you help me out with this? Something like that.
It depends.
So when Rob Schneider, the first time you asked him, goes, hey, I'm busy. How long did you wait to ask him again?
Well, I went through his assistant who I'd gotten to be friends with. So his assistant was, you also read the room with whoever you're dealing with. And he was very willing to make it happen. And he was on it. So I didn't feel, so there was less pressure about being assertive, but like, it's all on you. It's not the top of his list, but he was like, let's make it happen. He goes, what are some dates? I go, these are the dates. He goes, can't do those. Then we found one. Then a shooting came up. And then he said, check back in a couple months. I did. He's like, busy now. And then said, give me some dates coming up. And then it's on you, truly, because he never emailed me, and it shouldn't be like that, to be like, hey, Rob's sitting here waiting to do the podcast. Can you guys come over now? But sometimes it does, So I just kept having to follow up, and but not like every week. Like even sometimes people would say, like we had Jason Derulo on, and he goes, check in with me in, I think it was May, and I met him in November. I checked in like March, just to kind of
now what?
Because I know that he was giving May. There's no rhyme or reason to that. He was just like, yo,
when the
give
recording for Rob got messed up. First off, whose fault was it?
Mine.
Your fault. Okay.
Well, because my laptop was
wrong? Okay. Oh, this is at the time when you were recording direct to the laptop.
Yeah.
And the laptop
still do that.
Messed up. Oh, you do?
Well, no, to the Zoom. But the laptop, here's what it was. It was my laptop, first of all, needed to be upgraded, updated, all that. Mm-hmm. But I, would take the memory card from the Zoom that we recorded on, because we were on location at Rob's place. And it was such a great episode, dude. I mean, it took a minute to get on the books, and then we did, and it was just like so worth the wait. The stories, talking about writing Deuce Bigalow.
Everything you could have wanted.
And say, yeah, dude, it's stand-up stories. He had a good time. He kept talking about how much fun it was after and how he would do it again. And it was a big get. It would still be a big get now, but I remember at that time I was very pumped because I'm not one to, forget like Rob's a little older. He's not in movies the way he was, but like you're kind of a shithead if you decide to just go, oh, but he didn't have a killer run
he's a movie star.
Movies.
He's a movie star.
Do you know how bonkers that is to even get
he's a legend.
One good movie?
Dude, he
had 4, 5, 6
Rob Schneider.
maybe?
Rob Schneider, he's a recognizable figure.
Crushed on SNL, but like truly to transition. And Sandler had a big part of that, but Rob was like a funny.
He was his own man at one point.
Movies, dude. That is crazy. So and a lot of ones that I really liked. And
so messed up. Did you?
So I tried to. I put the memory card in the card reader, plugged it into the laptop, and then dragged the
file.
Usually drag it from the
SD card to the computer
on the hard drive. I tried to drag it straight on from when it pops up in the Finder from the card, right to. I tried to
edit it from the card.
No, I tried to drag it onto a hard drive. No, right into was transferring the files to the guy who was going to post them
from the card.
Yeah,
so it messed up,
and I dragged it from the memory card to like WeTransfer,
right?
And it just went, pff, literally just like disintegrated and
disappeared.
It just and and my heart stopped.
Did you try to recover it?
Oh yeah,
and
dude.
Couldn't. Damn. Okay, so we
tried to get him again, and he was just like, "It's going to be a beat, man." And then I haven't tried since, but I will probably ask him again in this new.
So he knows it was messed up.
No,
he knows it was lost.
No, he doesn't.
Okay, that's what I was gonna say. Yeah. I was gonna say I think the move is to pretend like.
No, I just said it was so great. You want to come on back?
Yeah, please come back.
Yeah, of course that's what I did.
Okay, good. You're good.
I fucked up. Can you do it again? Who wants to hear that? Who would ever go back and do it again? Which, by the way, that actually did.
I would.
I know, dude. And you think Jews
not for
are weird.
You, but for most people, I would. Yeah. For you, I'd say no.
I knew where that sentence was headed. I just look. It's good to fist bump every now and then, just to like for morale purposes. But I lost a chunk of an episode with Eliza once, and
Schlesinger.
Yep, Schlesinger. Is there another Eliza?
Eliza Traeger. Lisa Traeger.
Lisa Traeger, and I said Minnelli. Eliza Minnelli?
Eliza.
No, it's Liza. Wow. How often has this conversation happened?
If you mess up a recording with the Liza Schlesinger, can't you just add in kind of a bunch of sound effects and noises and people won't notice?
Boy, I'm gonna let that simmer for a minute. That's on you. No, she came right back. She lived close by to where I was living,
and you guys are friends.
Yeah, homies. Yeah. And so she came right back, and we did another, actually more time, and it was great. So, but again, this is why like where About Last Night podcast, my podcast, where it goes when Brad leaves in December. I'm very excited about because I finally won't have to be in charge of any of this stuff, and I can just sit back and do the show. Which, is fine, but it gets in the way. I mean,
Oh yeah, no, I mean, right now I'm thinking about, is the recorder still going? Is everything working according to plan?
I'm thinking about this angle too. Do we look good?
Oh yeah.
Should I face this way?
It doesn't matter.
I kind of like sitting like this.
This camera is just
Shouldn't
for fun.
Facing the
people
camera?
Are just listening.
Oh really?
The video that people just like to know that the video is there, but no one's really watching us.
Unless it's Rogan.
No one's focusing in on our facial expressions to watch it.
Yeah, well,
it's background stuff. This is just background.
All right.
Same thing with Rogan. No one's sitting there intensely watching Rogan's face. I don't think so.
Yeah.
I could be wrong though.
Boy, that guy's truly got the ultimate podcast studio, huh? Like, what would you do? Like, when you see a studio like Rogan's, what do you agree with that you would also
the location, the room itself, the layout? The only thing I disagree with in Rogan Studio is his equipment.
What do you mean?
I would change his audio recorder and his cameras.
Wow.
Yeah.
To nicer shit.
Why
isn't he doing that?
I think he's not insanely tech savvy, and he just puts a lot of trust in his guy, and I think his guy does a great job.
He does, Jamie. Yeah.
Jamie does a great job, but I think it could be even better.
Maybe also he doesn't want to have it up on this bigger. It is what it is, Maybe it looks good. It's fine.
It's fine, but he could make that thing and still make money on the episode because he makes several $100,000 an episode, from what I understand.
Probably not too much more of an investment to just get a few
nicer
cameras.
Get a few nicer cameras,
different
and
angles.
Then it would be. He could make it a television show.
I know, that's what I'm saying. Well, it is.
Yeah. But you know what I mean? Like a TV quality, Netflix quality.
A really cool, intro too with that studio. Just shoot a little B-roll stuff just to make a little.
Yeah, get a really fancy intro.
Get a crossbow getting with the pictures of people that he posts. But also it's, people I don't think
people like the simplicity of it.
People do like the simplicity of it.
Yeah, that's part of the charm.
Sometimes I think you can overdo, overthink, over-edit.
Part of the charm is, oh my God, it's just a conversation between two people. It's not a highly produced show. And it's raw.
Yeah.
But still, I would personally, if it was mine, if I had $1 million,
okay,
I would have the nicest possible.
Well, you're not Brent Biddlecombe.
Right, that's right.
Wow.
How crazy
we
is
know
that?
A millionaire.
Yeah.
I mean, after taxes, but.
If I was Brenton Biddlecombe.
What would you do with that cash?
If I was Brenton Biddlecombe himself, I would just pay off my house because he just bought a house right before it. So I would just pay it off so my mortgage is nothing. Well, then I'd be broke again because a house in LA is at least $1 million. Damn.
All right, what if you didn't have the house?
You're a homeowner. You're a millionaire. You're a millionaire.
Fuck that.
You're a millionaire.
No way, dude.
Yeah, you are.
No, I'm not.
You're being modest.
I wish I was.
You don't want people to know.
If I was a millionaire, I'd be very vocal about it, dude.
In assets, you own a house.
I don't
in Los Angeles.
It's a condo, right?
Is it? You pay an HOA fee?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought it was a house. I've never been over. I just heard.
I ain't trying to move to the Valley.
I like this area too.
I like Hollywood.
Yeah, I like Hollywood.
Moving to the Valley is look. If you got kids, you're having kids. Mm-hmm. You want a yard, do it. House is cool. I don't need a shit ton of space. I don't want more rooms than I. This is also for me now. I bet in 5 years.
Yeah, you'll outgrow it maybe.
Yeah. Sell it.
So right now I have a 2-bedroom apartment and it's nice. It has everything I need.
You're being modest. It's like a studio with like a big kitchen. But go on.
That would be the opposite of modest. That means I'm bragging.
Right.
Yeah, no, I have it's a spacious 2-bedroom apartment. It even has a little
it's great.
patio.
That was a joke. Your place rules.
But I rent. I'm a renter and I have a good deal. But I want to downsize. I want to get, my dream is to get a van and live in a Mercedes Sprinter van.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it's my dream.
What?
Yeah.
Why?
Have you seen some of these? By the way, these are $100,000 vans. These are super nice. You go in, it's got a little sink, a little full-size bed in the back. It's got everything you need.
What if you got house jacked? Somebody stole your car house.
I'll put a GPS tracker on it and I'll go hunt them down and take my house back.
Yeah. What is it? Not Alexa. What's the car? What is it? The service? There's like a OnStar.
OnStar. I'll get whatever the equivalent is to that from Mercedes, and I'll put it in there.
Would you have it be your voice, or would you be the security pipes that they
if they have
include?
an option to have my own voice, I'll do that. But if not, I'll accept.
Can I make a suggestion?
Your voice,
or any other voice?
You don't think I have an intimidating voice?
I think. Did you not hear what you just said? Even just that sentence coming out of your mind.
I mean, I'm from an inbred family, so my voice is a little bit.
Your voice isn't not intimidating. It's just not.
If it wasn't inbred, it'd be intimidating.
It's a comfy. I'd listen if you were gonna read like an audiobook.
Funny enough, I just wrote my first children's book.
Did you really?
And I've been meaning to make an audiobook version.
I could listen to about 3 to 4 minutes of it before.
I think it's a 8-page book.
That's all you need.
Yeah, it'll be 3 or 4 minutes.
That's dope. So that's your dream.
To live in a van.
Wow.
That's the ultimate dream for me.
Good for you.
At least right now. We'll see. Maybe I'll do that for a year and then I'll be like, I want a house.
I did see an article published a while ago about millennials truly making that their thing, right? That's like the next generation where apartments and houses are a thing of the past.
The more stuff I have, the more problems it brings up. You know, you have a condo, you know, the light bulb breaks, the sink, you need plumbing issues. If you just have the bare minimum, your life is simple. You're happy. You don't have expenses.
This is why I don't have a ton of rooms and a ton of stuff. I mean, I do have stuff that I'm trying to get rid of because I'm a Jew and I think it's a part of your nature to be a hoarder.
Speaking of Jewishness, of all the things you do, there's a question I wanted to ask you.
Oh.
You do a lot of things. You do stand-up. You're an actor.
Yeah.
You do a lot of voiceover work.
Yep.
Did I leave anything else?
I'm a podcaster.
Write.
Obviously.
A writer?
Yeah.
But you're not, have you done a lot of writing jobs?
A handful. Wrote on Punk'd, wrote on Mystery Science Theater, wrote on Adam Devine's House Party.
Wow. Okay, yeah. So writer too. Of all these things.
Some cartoons.
What is your most steady and most financially lucrative lane?
Voiceover.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
And so what's, how'd that
followed
come
by
about?
A close second by calf modeling for JCPenney back to school catalogs.
Did you actually do a calf modeling for JCPenney?
Yeah. So about 8 years ago, I was jogging down. I went back down to USC where I went to acting school.
Is this a real story?
Yeah. To tour the campus. And, you know, when I was in probably 8th or 9th grade, I was living with my dad in Arizona. My folks had split and he was living down there. So I was staying down there
and they're
for the
still
summer.
Broken up?
Yeah. Both remarried. All good.
And do you like your stepdaddy and mommy?
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, I was thinking about the way you said that, stepdaddy and mommy. And I was like,
do you say hi, stepdaddy, when you see him?
Call him George and call her Renee.
If you said, hey, stepdaddy, how would he respond?
He'd go, hey, what? He's like West Point grad, had a paper out since he was 7. All about the puns.
Dude, you should
I call
film
him Big
yourself continuously calling him stepdaddy.
Oh, God. That makes me so uncomfortable just hearing you say that.
How would stepmommy react if you said, hey, stepmommy?
Oh, God, dude. All right. Can we switch gears? I've never been more uncomfortable in a garage. And I got kidnapped and molested when I was 7.
Is that true?
No.
Oh,
just trying to make a bad joke, dude. Thank God.
Thank God.
Thank God for the molester.
You know, there's people that
molesting
have
garages?
been molested.
Yeah.
I think I've met.
You're right. It's not fun to joke about, but look, I've had bad things happen to me.
I used to think that like that was a thing on TV shows, but no, that really happens.
Being molested?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I've met 3 or 4 of them.
Victims. Yeah. This is probably the part of the show where your audience decides if they want to continue listening or not.
I don't think anyone's still listening.
Oh, God. There's cameras
I do
even
this
on?
podcast for me, just to connect with people.
I'm okay with that.
It's my only social interaction.
What does that say to you about the people that make time to come connect with you?
They're really generous.
Yeah. And they like you. That should say something a lot to you about you.
I have several friends.
I am not at a level where I get asked to do every podcast, but
you get a
decent amount. Yeah. And I don't do them all.
Thank you.
I want to do yours.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
You could have told me I have 5 listeners. Oh, yeah. 2 of them are stepdaddies. One of them is the guy who
I want to get a
my garage.
Stepdaddy just so I could have one more listener for the podcast.
Hilarious.
What the calf story? I interrupted your calf story.
Yeah. So I was jogging around SC, and there was a soccer practice going on. One of my buddies played on the team. Lacrosse practice was happening. Started working out. When I was in Arizona with my dad at that time in 8th grade, he worked all summer. So I went to this country club and went to the gym every day and just lifted and worked out and played tennis and did the Stairmaster a lot and got insanely muscular calves. Yeah. And in great shape, obviously, and your metabolism at that age is bonkers. And so, I'm jogging around SC. This is 2002, my sophomore year or end of freshman year.
You're about 19 years old.
Yeah. And so just fucking these calves are just built for money, And,
Jewish.
Lucrative legs.
Even hairline on your hairy legs.
Everything's great, dude. And
cut, tan.
Oh, I tan easily too, dude. And in the LA sun, just, tank top.
Nice
tank top that fits perfectly.
I'd kiss those calves.
Yeah, I don't like that noise you made, but yeah, it's there's something to
when you were hooking up with a girl at age 19.
She went straight for the calves.
She went
right past the penis and went right to the calf. Yeah,
calves.
I was like, oh yeah, right there, and then she just went right past it to the calf.
Those are nice calves. That's how you know you got nice calves.
I think so. Yeah. If she says it out loud,
she goes, calves.
Yeah. Someone's gonna isolate that audio and hopefully
with
animate a
Zoom
commercial.
F6 recorder, they could easily isolate any of this
Good
audio.
plug. Are they a sponsor?
I wish.
Is that the only thing you wish for? What else
that's
do you
not
truly
even on top of my wishes.
If I were a genie and that was truly your one wish,
my one wish.
First of all, if you had a genie on your podcast, would it all be about wishes, or would you be like, so when did you get started as a genie?
Oh yeah, no, I'd start. We'd end on the wishes part.
Okay,
I'd start on the other stuff. But if I had one wish, I'd say, can you give me Adam Ray's life?
Yeah.
I just want a stepdaddy and a stepmommy and a prosperous voiceover career.
You can get it.
And a calf commercial.
Your voice could be in one of those what was that
Incest
show?
commercials?
Huh?
Incest commercials?
That and what was that show on HBO?
Where the Mormon guy has a bunch of wives?
That was a good show. You could have been on that show, but cartoon-wise.
Oh.
Not Tim and Eric. Something people.
Was it the rats in New York?
No, the Kroll was a voice on it, and I think
on HBO.
Yeah,
I don't know.
People of the Sea, or anyway, you'd be good on that.
Be on. Yeah. Honestly, I'm such a thespian that I could adapt and be on anything.
I think you could
anything.
Right now, we're gonna improvise a little scene.
Okay.
I'm the coach, the big game. I'm here to tell you that you are the third string quarterback. Mm-hmm. Okay, and the first string and the second string were both involved in a tandem bike accident. They were biking together against the coach's wishes.
So this is the game's about to start. I'm getting suited up.
The game is we're 90 minutes away from kickoff.
Got it.
And the coach
is now talking to me.
Calls you in, long hallway. You walk down, right?
Hey, coach. You wanted to see me? Okay, sorry.
Whoa, hey, don't just bust in.
You're right. You didn't say actually.
Ari.
Yeah. It's Ari, but it doesn't matter.
You're third string, so excuse me if I haven't gotten to know exactly who the fuck you are.
Understandable. Yes, sir.
Ari, there's been an accident today. Okay, both Jacob and Skylar were involved in a tandem bike accident and a froyo machine.
They didn't invite me?
What?
I'm just doing. We're all three quarterbacks, but only two of them.
I was led to believe that you guys were not spending a lot of time socially together.
Well, we're not. But
third string quarterback Ari usually does not involve with the first and second string. There's a clear distinction between good and bad. Point being, Ari, Jacob's leg was it was chopped up by the froyo machine, and Skylar ran away because he didn't want to be. We were told by the school that they would not tandem bike together because of previous accidents that had gone down with students.
So you're saying he's running late?
Skylar ran away right into traffic, and he was hit by, coincidentally, an ice cream machine, which is, kind of funny because froyo and ice cream, what are the odds that two different ends of the spectrum of creameries are going to take out your two QBs? Point being, Ari, you're starting tonight. Game's in 90 minutes. We're playing
the football game we're about to play.
The fuck is wrong with you, son? Where are your pads?
I don't even have my own pads. Can I borrow their pads?
How tall are you, Ari?
5'9".
Say it like you mean it.
I'm 5'9".
Show me your calves.
I'm ready for the game. I'm fucking ready. All right, see?
Scene.
Sign me up.
That's good.
Sign me up. That was the first go around.
Now, at first, that sounded like it would be on the Disney Channel, but it slowly ended up on Cinemax.
I was thinking Adult Swim. It got weird at the end.
Well, if a coach is going to the Cavs, yeah, maybe Adult Swim. Animated?
Would you? Okay. Hypothetically speaking.
Oh, wait. So the Cavs got noticed?
Oh, yeah.
They said...
Who noticed it on the street?
A guy that works for JCPenney and just was... no, I'm fucking with you, dude.
None of that happened?
No, that whole story is
The
bullshit.
whole thing was made up?
Yeah.
You've never been in a cafe?
No.
Do you even have nice calves? Did you?
What if that was a whole point?
When you were 19, did you have nice calves?
Yeah. Dude, again, you don't lose. I still work out. It's, there's still...
You still have nice calves.
Look, I don't think I would go...
Would your girlfriend still be with you if you had my calves?
Now we're playing with house money, but probably not.
I appreciate the honesty.
I don't know, dude.
Ask her.
They're also
take a picture of my calves right now and send it to your girlfriend.
Okay. Why don't we post both our calves on the internet and let the audience decide?
I'm not saying I have nicer calves than you. I'm saying your girlfriend would still.
Kind of feels like what if you breaks up with me and goes for you? Wow, dude, this episode would skyrocket.
I mean, it sounds like me and your girlfriend would be a better fit for each other.
Let's move on.
Dollar Shave Club. When I talk about Dollar Shave Club, I can't stress enough the quality of their products. They've spent years developing, crafting, refining everything. They have everything I use to look, feel, and smell my best. You name it, they have it, and I use it. I've been a Dollar Shave Club member for years. And I have to tell you, I genuinely like their razors. They don't leave me with razor burn as much as those ones from the dollar store do. And as amazing as their shave stuff is, Dollar Shave Club is more than just razors. Dollar Shave Club has you covered head to toe. They have everything you need to shower, shave, style your hair, brush your teeth, and even wipe your butt. And Dollar Shave Club can keep you automatically stocked up on the products you use. You get what you want whenever you need it, whether that's once a month or a few times a year. I never have to waste time at the store wondering if what I'm getting is any good. As a Dollar Shave Club member, I know what I'm getting is the highest quality stuff you could put on your face with metal that is sharp. And that sounds scary and dangerous, but you want your metal on your face to be sharp. You don't want that dull stuff you get from the cheap brands. And right now, you can put the quality of Dollar Shave Club's products to the test. Their Ultimate Shave Starter Set has basically everything you need for an amazing shave. The Executive Razor, Shave Butter, Prep Scrub, and Post Shave Dew. The best part is you can try it for just $5. After that, the Restock box ships regular size products at regular prices. Get your Ultimate Starter Set for just $5 at dollarshaveclub.com/unlicensed therapy. That's dollarshaveclub.com/unlicensed therapy. Support the Dollar Shave Club and support the podcast in return. Please do that and get a good shave. And if you're a lady, use it to shave your legs. Girls like using razors that I use because it's hot. Enjoy the rest of the show.
Okay. What was the question you were going to ask me? And then I interrupted you with the rest of that calf story and then pulled the wind out of the sails.
My question was about your voiceover work.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting to me because to me, that's a whole nother world. I being a stand-up comedian, I know people who've gotten into writing and acting. I kind of see that, but I don't. How did that come about? Your voiceover career?
Always wanted to do it. It's one of those things you don't have any understanding of how to get into it. I have no friends or family that are doing it. Up in Seattle, again, there's agencies and a lot of theater and commercial acting and all that, and some voiceover things, but also didn't have an interest truly in it until I got down here. Mm-hmm. Always wanted to do cartoons and stuff. Didn't really ever think about the commercial world, but first manager that I signed with, who ended
the one that you broke up with 3 days ago?
No, a different guy who I knew it was bad when he wanted to. Most managers take like 10%. He wanted like 25, and he was harassing me about signing the documents, and I kept taking a beat on it. And then he had me like play guitar, so I went over there and he was like, "Hey, do you mind tuning my son's guitar for me?" He called me in for a meeting.
A lot of red flags.
Called me in for a meeting and then said, "Can you tune my son's guitar? And then can you like perform at his birthday party?" And I was like,
"For free?"
Yeah. And I was like, "Yay, boy, I'm out." And but
yeah, one time when I first moved here, I had a manager who saw me skateboarding on the street and stopped me and took my card. And then he hit me.
Hey, can I see those calves?
He said there's a $2,000 initiation to make sure that he knows that I'm serious about the business. He goes, listen, there's a lot of people who say they want to be actors and creators, but I need $2,000 just to let me know that you're serious.
You got to be fucking kidding me.
Dead's here. There's a real thing. Side of the street.
We got to track this guy down. That is unreal.
He then,
you just need that $2,000 for rent.
This was the best part. So I told him I was a stand-up comedian, and this was the name he kept name dropping, was Barry Katz. He goes, I work with Barry Katz and all these people. At that time, I was producing Barry Katz's podcast. So I knew Barry Katz. And I also was smart enough, even though I was 22 and just moved to LA, I was smart enough to know that this guy's full of shit.
Did you bring him up to Barry?
So I took the guy's number, I forwarded it to Barry. I saved the voicemail he left me where he says, I work with Barry Katz and I need the $2,000 and all this, like just this whole incriminating voicemail. Send it to Barry and I go, just so you know, there's this guy using your name. Turns out Barry was like not working with him, but in talks with him on some project.
So he was kind of legit.
Not legit, just he did know Barry Katz.
Look, Ari, a lot of guys are going to tell you they know who you are.
So Barry dropped the guy out of his life. He said, hey, you're not allowed to use my name.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
Blah, 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 because of me. So I felt good about it.
Wow.
Pretty good. Okay.
What if you gave him the $2,000? You'd still regret that.
The sad thing is, I guarantee you people would.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Imagine fresh face. You never went to USC. You're Adam Ray, brand new to LA.
No, I did get swindled. I convinced a buddy of mine who's a great actor, was a senior when I was a freshman in the acting school at SC, and I got bamboozled by this like pay and come do this quick 3-weekend seminar thing, and you meet all these casting directors and all this shit, and you get on TV. Dude,
casting director workshops.
I literally was 3 months into school in LA, and I can't believe that I pitched him on it so hard because I went to an initial meeting and they were just like, they talked up such a big game and lied to me so hard, and I dragged him along and he went to it, and I remember as soon as we got there, he was just like, he goes, fuck, dude. He goes, why'd you do this, man? And I go, what? He goes, you just made it sound like it wasn't this. Like, I'm a senior. I'm still not. I'm speaking for him. He was a senior at the time.
Yeah.
He was like, I'm still getting a lay of the land, more or less. He'd been on a few shows. Gilmore Girls was on at that time. He
That's
did a
pretty
guest
good
star
for a
and
senior
crushed
in college.
it. Yeah. And then it went on to a bunch of cool shit. His name is Brandon Barash, and he was like, what the fuck, dude? Even I know this is bullshit. And I was like, and him just saying it made me just see what it was. It almost like he pulled the curtain off.
Yeah.
And I go, oh no. And then I immediately felt bad because I go, what did I do to my friend? I go, but he knew it was an earnest mistake where I was like, I truly just got bamboozled. And he was like,
it's like bringer shows and comedy. How many people fall for that? I fell for one of those.
Wow.
When I moved to LA. Did you ever do a bringer?
A ton of them.
Yeah.
That's a great way to get stage time that's not an open mic. I don't think you can do only those. I think there's a lot of young comics.
I tell people don't do them at all if I meet a new comic.
I don't think that's, look, I think everyone's path is your path. I did them because, doing school out here, then acting classes, post-college, Groundlings, UCB, working at Universal Studios. I accumulated a lot of like people in my life to bring to those shows.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do them every month, maybe 10 a year. But guess what? That was through all the mics. It was like at some point you're like, I need a little taste and a little motivation to a little taste of what it could be like.
No, I don't blame people.
So
who,
main
who
room,
do
belly
them.
room, and
I'm
but
just
to get
saying,
into the
like,
habit,
now that you have an outside perspective of what they were, don't you wish, instead I could have produced my own show, or I could have just gotten on a show and told them I'd bring people that wasn't a bringer show.
I still do that sometimes, and that's because then you just, there are so many times I would get on this one show and have 5 people guaranteed, and then like 2 would show up, and you still go up. Because then also just getting in with some of these people, eventually they just had me on and stopped making me bring people. So, and then I had some regular spots that weren't open mics like that. So,
so voiceover, the manager guy tried to scheme you for 25%.
Yeah, to my son's
and
guitar.
Kid's birthday. Yeah,
might have been a euphemism. And then he had me meet with a voiceover agent that I got with, and was with them for about 10 years, and they were real small They were crushing it for the kid agency aspect, commercials, acting. Voiceover was a smaller department. And so a lot of my stuff wasn't even getting heard. And I didn't know that they were so low on the totem pole that I was reading all the time and auditioning, which was great for the reps and the experience. But after a while, just like anything, I would start to go, man, I booked a few things along the way, but I was like, read something and I was like, God, no callback on that or anything. You know, it's after like 6-7 years, you're like, I'm getting kind of dialed in with this. I'm reading 10 to 15 times a week of stuff. And
it sounds like getting you a lot of
auditions. But again, they can submit them. That's cool. They're getting them, but a lot of them. And then I find out from buddies who were at other places, which I didn't even know there were other voiceover places. I was so naive to just be like, to even think outside of where I was, because I loved everybody. I was reading all the time, so I thought the opportunities were there. But then come to find that there's places that specialize in just voiceover, and so you're distracted by something. What's going on?
Continue.
What is it?
I'm sorry. It's good. I thought I saw a spider, but I didn't.
You selling the movie rights to that story? I thought I saw a spider and I didn't.
Yesterday I killed a bunch of spiders in here.
Did you really?
Yeah, probably a good 10 daddy long legs up on the roof, ceiling.
All right. See, your voice is. I'm starting to get more on board with the delivery and the cadence.
I'm being sincere.
I know you are. That's why it's funny. But also hearing you talk about bugs, like your face. People, they won't see this video because they won't watch this, but you had a lot of genuine concern.
I just wanted to make sure you didn't get bit
by daddy long legs.
Because then it's like, is the gas money even enough if you get bit by a daddy long legs?
For sure not.
Yeah.
Also, this does look like a place where daddy long legs come to make babies.
For sure, there's infested with mosquitoes and
daddy
really long legs in this garage.
And I'm getting a lot of random calls.
You
lately.
can answer it.
I don't want to.
Pick it up on the podcast. Let's see what I'll edit it out if it's personal.
I don't know who that is. I'm getting a lot of those
spam.
Yeah. Do you ever, and pops up sometimes it says fraud risk?
I don't have the fraud risk. That's like a $5 extra cost a month, so I don't do that. I just don't. If it's an unknown number, I don't pick up. If it's important, they'll leave a message.
Remember star 69?
Yeah.
I don't like the way you said that.
16, dude.
I'm okay with that because I think there's still a place in the world for those guys.
Mm-hmm. The 69 guys?
Yep.
What's the place in the world for them?
You know, not a big banquet hall, but you know,
I think, skate
parks. Long lines, skate parks,
the ski slopes, barbecue restaurants,
big jacuzzis,
like above ground jacuzzis.
Yeah.
In the desert.
Any sort of koozie.
Do you have a jacuzzi in your apartment?
No.
You thinking about it?
That was it.
This is a real thing I was considering.
I know, dude. First of all, I took it as like a challenge, as if like you were fucking, and then you followed up with, "Are you thinking about it?" As if you were gonna fucking push down that brick wall and there were 6 different sized jacuzzis.
This is a real thing.
You were gonna try to sell me.
This is actually a real thing.
Oh my God,
that I've thought about. Ditching the podcast in here, putting this podcast studio in my apartment or something,
and putting a hot tub in here.
Putting a hot tub in this very garage.
Yeah. I mean, look, it's your life.
This. Removing the carpet, putting AstroTurf on the ground.
That I'm on board with.
Glow in the dark stars
the carpet is
on
suspect.
the ceiling. Glow in the dark stars on the ceiling. Some more greenery on the back wall. The garage right
here. Are
you
single?
Yes. The door open.
I think you should definitely do all that.
Garage door open. Me and you in the tub. As people walk by, we catcall.
I just said, "Are you single?" You're like, "Yeah." So get it, dude. I get a bunch of dudes to come over, get in my starlit hot tub.
Well, you got to be real. The person.
Wait, we catcall. Oh, and girls are walking by.
Girls run from Runyon on Hollywood Boulevard. Me and you sitting in the jacuzzi right here.
Hey, sweetheart. Got time for a quick.
How's your workout? You look nice. Those pants look nice.
Those pants look nice. Ooh, baby. You ever seen?
If you need a cool down.
You got time for a quick koozie?
Yeah. If you want, it's good for your muscles.
It's good for your muscles. It is.
Yeah, jacuzzis are good.
I would pay $50 just to see the reactions of some of the gals that would. That's a funny video. And also, guess what, dude? It's not. You have a. You don't. And take this as a compliment. You
There's
don't have
ways to catcall.
You have a not, even though your voice isn't as intimidating as you want it to be.
Right, sensational.
It also falls in line with your face. You look like a nice guy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't feel like they're going to look over and they're going to take you in and then go, all right, not going to stab me in my sleep.
They'll at least smile.
They'll smile.
Thank you.
Yeah, for sure. And then they'll notice the setup. And if it is to what you
I'll make it nice. Yeah.
created in our heads, then I think there's legs to this.
It could happen. One of them might say yes the third time I ask. The third time they're jogging by.
Yeah, because if this is going to be their route,
you
got to be consistent.
I get to know them.
It's just like booking the podcast. You got to be consistent with your cat calls.
Yeah, and it's
follow up 2 weeks later.
That's the thing.
Remember last week when you just ran by? You looked at me this time. Progress. Hey, where are you going?
See, that's the thing. If you cat call those kind of things, it's actually acceptable. Cat calling is socially acceptable as long as you're not being a weirdo about it. You can't say like nice tits or, hey baby. You just got to be like, nice pants. How are you?
Who still does the hey baby?
Construction workers.
Yeah, garbage men.
Immigrants, those mixed race individuals. No white men do
the
that
garbage
anymore.
men and the construction guys, like, that's a thankless job, dude. It's almost like there should be people
make a lot of money.
The same way that Trump hires actors off Craigslist and stuff for his rallies. They should have like actors and actresses that get hired to just give some of these workers that do long hours, like just a little, like $200 for an hour to walk by in a cute outfit, guys and girls, because I don't want to.
The Garbage Men Association, maybe corporate garbage,
and the construction guys. I just see
them.
It's the hours, the jobs. It just looks like the worst, and I think they get compensated.
So you know how
decently.
like corporates hire comedians? You're saying maybe take some of that corporate entertainment money and put it towards hot babes to walk by.
Why not?
Yeah.
Why not? That way, also it's set up, it's pre-planned. That way
I'll
you don't.
say this: if I was a garbage man and my boss was like, "Would you rather have a comedian this year or a hot babe to walk by a bunch of times?" I'd be like, "Hot babe."
Yeah,
for sure.
By the way, can we bring back hot babe? I like that.
Hot babe.
Yeah, dude. It's very.
Is that offensive to say?
No, it's very. I think broad is. My brother-in-law still says broad, and I just want to punch him in his.
Is it offensive
mouth.
even if you're not saying it to a broad?
Yes. Let me give you again a little improvised scene, right?
Okay.
You're me. I'm my brother-in-law.
Okay.
What's your opening line?
How you doing, bro?
Oh, not bad, dude. Man. So like, I was at Chipotle, right? And I was like,
authentic Mexican cuisine, nice.
Love it. I was like, yo, is this steak? Can I do a chicken and steak combo? And this broad was like, we got chicken or steak, not both. And I was like,
but they do have both. Yeah. They sell both at
Chipotle. But it's so sad of an ending. Thanks a lot, Ari. I think that's it. We don't need to do the second scene. So thanks for coming in.
That happens a lot because I do so good in the first.
Yeah.
They say we don't need the second.
That's definitely why.
It's because they're like, you were so good.
How did that feel to hear broad just used in conversation?
If I'm being 100% honest, it felt totally fine to me.
You need to see my brother-in-law. The way that people after shows will go, yo, you were my favorite. And you're like, it's not a competition. It is subjective. It is subjective, but I love when people feel a need to go in a round of 10 or 5 comics go, you were the best tonight. And guess what?
It's dumbfounding.
It
makes me uncomfortable when someone says that to me.
I dissect it and I take the part that I know that they mean, which is I enjoyed your set. I take that away. But then I go, I'm so quick to be like.
all you could say is, thanks. And
no, I go out of my way to be like, it's not a competition. It is subjective. I appreciate it. But I go, everyone else was great on the show, but not everybody is for everybody. And then they go, okay, anyway, you were my favorite. And I'm just like,
it's not worth saying all that to me because they're not going to go, oh yeah, you're right. It.
I know.
Oh yeah.
Right.
They're just, all you can do is go, thank you. Appreciate that. Have a good one.
Cool.
Yeah.
Do you love stand-up?
Yeah, I'm obsessed with it, but I'm gotten lazier over the years. I need to write more and all that fun stuff. But
it does happen. It's truly why when I look at people that are, like getting to do some of these shows with Dan Cook, he's 29 years in, and it's, man, I go, I hope I'm still at that, like where I care about it that much, know?
Yeah.
And I think I will be because
I'm scared to bomb. I think that's where I'm at right now. I need to get over that.
Oh yeah.
And I need to just experiment more.
Totally.
And
you're how many years in?
8.
Yeah, dude, isn't that crazy? That feels like a lot.
It feels like a lot.
Scratching the surface.
Yeah, I also
I'm
feel
at 13, dude, and I feel like that is not. I mean, I feel like I feel like in this past year I've, as you should every year, like grown and just gotten stronger and less concerned with things that don't matter, like being in the room and worried about if you. I mean, look, I think there is value sometimes in being like, shit. Like in the main room a few weeks ago, I got sandwiched in between. Burr was bringing me up. I was bringing up Joey Diaz.
Right.
Yeah.
You want to do good. You're doing your best shit,
dude.
Yeah.
But I also like, I 5 years ago, even 2-3 years ago, I would have just been like, dude, just fucking. I would have been way more nervous, and I would have been like, just do the hits, don't do any crowd work, and wouldn't have like.
Yeah, if I was in that position, I would just do hits. Yeah.
Didn't have the wherewithal to go, dude. You got this. You're on the show. You are gonna go up in between these two. And also do your thing. And Joe even asked me when he came in. He goes, "Do you want me to?" He goes, "You want me to go up after Burton or whatever?" And I go, "I mean, I like the challenge, and I'm all good, you know." And to be honest, I want to bring you up, Joe. And he goes, "That's what I'm fucking talking about, cocksucker." And he goes, "I want to fucking." He goes, "I want to call that fucking little guy you work with and fucking told him to fucking get a new fucking Jew," you know. And because he was like. If you would have said no to that, I would have been like, you pussy ass bitch. Like, you're not going to follow Burr. Because then he started telling me how people were starting to massage their spots in certain places to not have to follow him. And I'm like, dude, I've never done that.
Following someone famous is nice. You ride the wave.
Dude, but that's an easier said than done mentality, man. Sure. I remember coming up and seeing guys, I won't name names, but like at the Improv especially, like having to follow certain people and wanting to go earlier or go later or not even go.
I wouldn't want to follow Donnell Rawlings.
Dude, I have, and it's fucking.
I wouldn't want to follow him because he's just.
It also depends on where in the show, man. If he's going up third or fourth, and you're the last one on like a 5-comic show, and he does a little extra, maybe 2, and just. But also,
murders.
I had to follow Godfrey at the Laugh Factory a few weeks ago, and he murdered, dude. Yeah. But I came up, dude, and took a beat, recognized him, and then got into my shit. And yeah, did my energy at first? Did I also I have big energy, so I wasn't feeling like I had to overcompensate fully, but I had to kind of, you know, as he was getting off, get on the bull. You know what I'm saying? Versus like letting him get off, take time, let the whole room adjust, which you can also do. Mm-hmm. If somebody was more of a storyteller, low energy comic that went up after Godfrey, they could have just done their thing and been fine. But like for me, I was like, nah, man, I'm gonna take this and just take it up a notch. Yeah. And try to ride the wave, which I felt like is what the room wanted. But that night at the store, yeah, it was great. But every year, point being, 8 years in, you're gonna
you're gonna get better.
The worries of bombing, the worries of other shit that doesn't pertain to what you're doing on stage is gonna like eventually evaporate, and you're gonna be like, oh, this is for me. I don't need to worry about the other bullshit, and it will happen. You just have, but that's why. You know, again, the respect for people that are still delivering at a high level and years later, you know, like Dane and Chappelle and Louis and fucking Ray Romano and just, I mean, there's a big list, and it's, you just gotta staying in it and being consistent, and why you see like Whitney and Eliza still fucking put out a special and they're right back into it. I mean, it's like.
Do you ever wish that you were black?
When I remember being in, I think it was 5th grade, and my peak of basketball, I was quick fat. You know, I was dominating. I was the tallest kid. There's videos I post on my Instagram. You can look up Adam Ray Comedy. I found some old clips from an old VHS tape in Seattle, VHS tape, and I edited together some highlights. I was good. I was the tallest kid. I was fat. You couldn't D me up, and I was quick fat. So I was fat, like, dude, it was... You
were a center.
Yeah, dude. I was the tallest kid, shot the 3, because that was...
You were Shaquille O'Neal.
Who shot the 3, dude?
Can you do a good Mark Zaratella
I was Anthony Davis.
Impression doing the Shaquille O'Neal joke?
Girls that get fake boobs, it's like, I've never taken off a girl's shirt and been like, these just won't do. You put your shirt on and get the hell out of here.
That's pretty good.
That's right. My name is Mark Zaratella. It's not my real name. It's just my stage name. It's not my real name. How's it go?
I think, yeah.
It's not my real name. It's my Mark Zaratella is my stage name. My real name, I can tell you this, give you a little bit of a hint though. My real name is Mark Shaquille O'Neal. The world's crazy.
Does he still do that joke?
So yeah.
On long sets,
I told him how much I hated it too.
That's my.
'Cause he's one of my best friends, and it was. I was like, dude, it doesn't. He's like, it's a good opener, easy into the set. I go, but it doesn't get laughs. I go, so you don't. Why would you do a joke that doesn't get any laughs? He was like, it does. You're not hearing it right. And I was like, nah, it's bad.
It does. You're not hearing it right.
Mark is truly one of the funniest people I've ever met.
He's funny. He's neurotic. He's
Totally, but off stage, dude, there's a handful of people that can riff on anything and make it funnier, but also he's real. He's got a Burr type of mentality towards a lot of stuff, which I think is great. Like he's told me some insane stories that involve with him and women or just bad luck type things, but he always has a very hilariously positive skewed point of view about it to what the funny in it, you know, but still it's coming through an anger. Like here's what's fucked up about it. But then we can laugh about it. And it's like,
and then he is always at the very end of a rant. He'll go, it's okay though, you know?
Yeah, but it's good, but I'm feeling good.
Yeah,
I'm feeling good.
Yeah.
I keep telling him he should write a book. He's got, you know, I would narrate or do that audiobook in a heartbeat for him. Mark, if you're listening, dude, write that book.
Oh, he's listening for sure. Here's a question for you. I am an expert in everything.
On what?
Everything.
Okay. Is this where we do the theme part of the podcast?
Yeah. And I could help you in your life. I could tell, you know, your life's pretty good. Probably don't have anything real to complain about, but everything's got stuff to complain about.
Isn't it great how we think that about people? There's people I've gotten to know in the past few years where I go, man, everything. Look at look at that Instagram life.
Mm-hmm.
You're crushing it. See at the clubs, do this, like man. And then you hear things or you see things and you go, everyone's got their bullshit.
Everyone.
Dude.
Doesn't matter if you're Jay-Z or Donald
Trump.
Trump.
You're not above it, dude.
You got it.
Guess why? Because you're a person.
You're a human.
And you got behaviors and flaws and habits and vices. You know what I'm saying?
But I'll tell you the beauty, even though you have problems, like we all do.
Yeah.
The cool thing is I could fix them.
Are we even recording? Be honest with me.
Listen,
I see the levels.
The episode was so great, but you got to come back. It was so good.
Are we done already?
That was me pretending like you were Rob Schneider and I fucked up the whole episode.
Oh, callback.
Yeah.
That wasn't the joke you said you were going to do to close the podcast?
No, it's not. So what? I could fix your problems.
Great. Are you a licensed therapist?
Yes.
I've never been to therapy, by the way.
Have you really not?
Nope. I know that comics and non-comics preach about it. And yeah, there's probably some things I could gain from it.
I went once when I was a kid.
Great.
So I got it.
So did I. What'd you go for?
You just said you didn't go to therapy.
As an adult.
You were a kid.
I was going to transition
I went
into.
because me and my mom hated each other.
How's that going now?
Better.
Good.
Yeah.
I don't totally believe you, but
no, it is like
good.
Before I couldn't see her without going, I hate you so much. And now we don't say that to each other really.
That's progress.
Not often.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
You should like your mom.
I don't know.
What about Pops?
I like Pops.
Great. As long as you got one.
So that was what the childhood therapy
That's the thing too, man.
for.
When my folks split up and people were like, God, that sucks. And I'm like, my mom crushed it, carried both roles. I had this shitty joke I used to do where I go, my mom bought me condoms actually. I go, you know, was it weird? Yeah.
Your real mom or stepmommy?
Real mom.
Okay.
Was it weird? Yeah. I go, were they were they magnums? Maybe. You know. Was I 10? Almost. I was 9.5. But the point is, pause for laugh.
You have a big.
She was supportive.
You have a big one.
She was supportive, and she saw what she saw in that sonogram, and even though she hadn't seen it since, she was like, "This guy's a grower, not a shower." You know.
If I
I
was
don't do that joke anymore, but
Aaron Sorkin,
yeah,
and I'm casting my new movie, but there's a sex scene and your dong will show. You in?
yeah,
Nice.
yeah, dude.
Me too. I'll do it. I'll do it. Put my dong in it. I'll do it.
Like I love the way you said like I'll do it as if like there's discussions right now. People are like, dude, we're not sure if look, the movie's a go, but we need someone relatively unknown. How about fully unknown? All right, and we'll get them for scale. I'll probably do it for less. Can we just have him send us a picture of it?
Isn't it funny to think that not just less, like there's thousands of actors out there that would pay $10,000 to be in a movie. Any movie, really.
Yeah.
It could be an independent movie that's going to be bad.
Air
And
Bud
someone will be
26.
Air Bud 26. I'll pay 10 grand to be in that.
You
Yeah.
do realize you have one line, and it's we actually might give it to the dog.
I just want to be an actor. So
We actually might. Oh
we
God.
might cut you out. Yeah, but it's tough to get a break in this town.
You know
So
what?
if
That's
you'll take
the-
my 10 grand, I'll do it.
Oh God, that's what I love and hate about this business. But I more so love because truly, there's even at JCPenney, man, the guy who didn't
you in the calf,
see my calves. If you can try to find a way to like use the collective energy that's in this town of people like even at a Jamba Juice or a fucking, a Best Buy, everyone's like Uber drivers that are trying to give you their Rhapsody. Like this is the only place truly where there's so many people going for it. And there's different levels of that.
Yeah.
I think you see as you get in it, like you are an example of someone truly going for it.
Mm-hmm.
Doing what they can to make sure that they can finance the dream and go for it. And you're doing what you have to do. You have no plan B and you can't.
Yeah.
I've said this on podcasts
My
before.
mom says I could, though. Do you disagree with her?
Have a plan B?
She says to have a plan B.
No,
I agree with you.
I disagree with your mom.
Yeah.
Will Smith said, don't have a
You
plan
disagree
B.
with my mom. I like that.
Don't have a plan B because it'll take away from the plan A.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a big quote guy, but I don't know where I saw that. I think on Oprah, and it resonated. Anyway,
I like that too.
so mom, we were talking about moms. Your mom.
Oh, I said that she thinks I should have a plan B.
No, before that.
Oh, your mom bought you condoms,
Yeah.
Magnums.
That was a joke. But if she knew me, I think that's what she.
Oh,
she
no,
was supportive.
I was asking you your problems for me to fix.
Oh, yeah. What do you want to do?
I want to hear one of your problems.
Oh, truly?
Yeah. I want to give you advice.
Oh, yeah. I was talking
What
about my
keeps you
mom
up?
crushing it as a single mom. That's
Oh, yeah. She was a great mom.
Yeah, she was.
Better than.
So that's what I'm saying. You want to.
Dad.
Oh, and going to therapy once as a kid.
That's right.
It was for counseling to post divorce. I think my mom was just like, I think they should go to counseling and talk to somebody. I was not about it at all.
You didn't need it.
I didn't want it. It was weird. I was sitting there playing a little mini basketball on this guy's hoop, and he just sat there quietly for an hour. And then he's like, next. And then I remember I shot one of the balls. This was maybe 3 times in a row of not talking, him asking questions and me being silent and just shooting hoops. And then him just sitting there. One time he even walked out of the office. He goes, I'm going to let you shoot for 10 minutes. I'm going to come back and we're going to talk. Comes back in. Didn't talk. And then a third time of this happening, third round, of hour and a half paid session.
Wow, you
I
were
remember
a
I
tough
shot
kid.
one and it bounced off and he was sitting in his seat and it bounced off right to him. And he went, and he caught it and he catches the ball and he just goes, you want to sit down and talk? Or maybe he said something like,
It sounds a
So,
lot like Goodwill
did you
Hunting.
ever hear your dad
Robin-
fucking another
this is
woman?
Robin Williams.
Like, yeah.
It's not your fault.
In the movie, he would say, that's
It's
what he
not
would have
your
said.
fault.
But I think it was, you want to talk. But the
Yeah.
funnier story version is, did you ever hear your dad cheating on your mom? Take me back to the 4th grade. I'll give you this ball back. How about this? I give you a Kit Kat.
I get what you're saying. You want to pick up right here, right now, where that left off. You weren't ready to open up to him, but you're ready to open up to me.
Sure, let's do it. You got to ask a question. That's not a good therapist. Just saying, you ready to open up to me? Go. Guess what?
You don't know what a good therapist is. You don't go to therapy.
I've heard though. I can guarantee you, no good therapist worth paying for has ever gone. All right, go.
What keeps you up at night?
Worry about my family.
Your
As people get
parents?
older. Yeah.
Are they having some health
sis and-
problems?
No, just mom and dad. Yeah, a little bit. Sis and financial stuff. I try
Your
to
sister's having financial issues?
up and down. They just got a lot. They got 6 kids.
Wow.
And it's a lot. I've
Are they
helped them.
trying to spread God's wisdom through the Jewish faith?
They are
Is
not
that why
Jewish.
they're having so many kids?
No,
I thought you were Jewish.
I am. My sister's
She converted?
She had bat mitzvah and all that stuff, but just decided not to continue with the practice.
So what religion does she practice?
I think the religion of whatever.
Oh, so she's Jewish then.
She is Jewish, yeah,
Yeah.
but they'll still do Christmas and stuff. She's just not going to services.
Yeah, she's
or-
not really. I'm not religious.
But she'll light the candles and stuff.
But why
for
does she have
Hanukkah.
so many kids?
Because my brother-in-law brought in 3, and then they had one
Oh.
together. My sister had 2.
Wait. They
Sister
had-
had my twin nieces. They had one together, but he
Okay.
brought in 3.
So that's 4.
No. My sister had 2.
Okay.
He had 3.
Oh, got it.
And
Okay,
they
so they
had one
started with
together.
5, and then they came with. So they love the 5th one the most, probably, Or the sixth one?
Because it's the one that's theirs.
It's theirs,
Come
yeah.
from both of their
she probably
their
gets
privates.
the best treatment. And all the other kids probably hate
He's
her.
he's the
most,
baby.
too.
They're all
it's a
pretty
boy.
young, but he's 5 and he's the closest to being a baby, which, but I don't know. I career stuff I'm always worried about. I worry about, it's not like leaving like a leg. There's so much I want to do. You know what I'm saying? There's not enough hours in the day. And I feel like sometimes I'm overworking myself and I have to, in the last year or so, I've gotten better at scaling back and taking even sometimes a full half a day. I can't do a full day of like not. I also am at a point too where you work to get busy, So it's one of those things where my mom's always like, you gotta slow down, you gotta do this. I'm like, Mom, I didn't get to where I'm at, which is even not where I want to be by taking days off or by whatever, but you have to sometimes because you truly can't overwork yourself. And also,
but you literally just said you don't take a full day off. You only take half days off.
I've done that.
You've taken full days?
Oh, no. Because I
What time
can't.
do you wake up?
There's certain like voiceover jobs that I have that are not, there's no days off. And even
7
if
days a week? Voiceover jobs?
No, but like, let's say there's a day where I don't have one of my voiceover jobs, right? I'll still do shows that night. I'll still do podcasts. I'll still write. There's just always, my brain is always
moving.
Yeah, and it's a blessing and a curse because I love it because I love being creative and I love like this medium. I just just love creating. But I think
it's healthy to take.
Oh, you have
some days off.
Oh, you have to, man. Yeah.
But wait,
I've gotten better at it. Going home helps a lot.
What time do you wake up?
Between usually like 8 and 10.
And what time do you go to sleep?
3, 4.
3 or 4 a.m. every night?
Yeah. Last night it was.
So your girlfriend goes to sleep before you?
I went to bed about 12:30 the other night, which was like the first time in like probably 20 years I'd done that. That felt great.
But what about you live with your lady, right?
Yeah.
So she goes to bed early and you're just like, all right, I'll meet you in bed later.
Schedules vary. She's been coming home late from her job. So now comes home later than me, but usually we're up. Because also if she comes home late and I am up from shows or whatever, then I won't go to bed for a while. So it's like, now I'm trying to like, man, I got to maybe try to be at least on the train to being passed out when she gets back at 3, 4, so that I'm not up even later.
Do you eat late at night?
Sometimes.
So you're a naughty boy when it comes to food?
It fluctuates, man. I mean, that's truly, because I work out a ton, but it's like the eating part is the one that just, because I'm not a big, even like during the day, eat, like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
munch here and there on stuff that's good for you. But if I had like a true set thing for like, dinner, which I try to do, but then it's, if I don't eat then till like, if I eat in the afternoon and then it comes up late night, then it's like, 10, 11, and that's just too late, but.
So you're kind of conscious of it.
Oh yeah, very conscious, but it's just, it's a battle, but.
Okay, it's getting hot, so I'm going to get to the last question.
Great.
You've been pursuing comedy now for 12 years, you said, right?
Doing stand for 13. Started 13 2007,
years. So, yeah. So you've been doing, the Hollywood show business 13 years.
Yes.
What is your biggest, I don't want to say failure, but what's something you wish you could do again, or like an embarrassing, maybe a terrible audition, of your biggest failure story? Maybe it led to something good. Maybe it's not a regret, but what was at least in that moment where you're like, fuck, I fucked that. I fucked myself up. I can't believe I did that. That type of thing.
Biggest fuck up.
Maybe you bombed at a showcase. It's something where you're like, holy shit, I ruined. In your head in that moment, you were down.
I remember showcasing for Mitzi. She was, definitely starting to deal with some health complications, but she was there with Tommy, the old booker. And I remember I got, I eventually got past and became a paid regular, but showcasing for her was such a big deal and put up on a pedestal. And I remember they put me up for 3 minutes at the beginning of a bringer show. And it was a bringer show that I'd done a bunch and knew the guy. And he said he was going to put me up top cold. And I remember being like, I just starting to work there, answering phones. And I remember thinking in that moment, and I just had a talk with somebody who was giving me all these pump up speeches about like, you got to fucking speak up for yourself and you got to like not let everything get dictated. Like speak up when the moment is appropriate. And this was a moment where it was like, I was told I was going to go like fourth, and now the guy who ran the Springer show was like, "I'm just going to have you cold open," because our host was
like,
host
no,
was late.
This is my showcase for Mitzi.
Yes, and I just like did it anyway, and it was not good. Because I went up cold, and people were still coming in. I had 3 minutes.
On the show.
I wasn't ready. Yeah, and you're opening the show, so I just jumped right into my stuff. And it's not good. And I was too in my head about it too.
You're nervous. You want to go to your stuff, but they're not. They want to.
So I was more frustrated. And I didn't speak up, and then
like
I'm out there being like, why didn't I speak up? And then I do it, and Mitzi's one critique was, why are you wearing a hat? So I don't even consider that a big failure, but that sticks out as that was a turning point.
In that moment, though,
and it was definitely a somewhat of a turning point as far as starting to recognize like
I need to ask for things that I want to make things better.
Also just take control, like, and be, but also you learn, it was also a good learning, experience for, don't just be pissed about something that happened like this, that didn't go your way. Take a beat, think about why, and think how you can do better next time. Yeah. Cause that is.
So next time when you know that,
if you get thrust into a position that
you're watching you say, "Hey, man, is it cool if I go up second or third? Because it would just make it a lot better."
Well, I was already even told that, so it was already set up like that. But this guy, it was set up by the Comedy Store for me to do that, and this guy just was like, "You're doing this," and I didn't have the chutzpah to be like, "I'm actually supposed to go," and I was just like,
so it was a good learning lesson.
Didn't want to ruffle feathers.
So the next time you have a showcase and they're like, "Hey, can you cold open?" You go, "Actually, like normally I would, but." Is it cool if I go up second or third tonight because someone's watching me and it'd make me feel a lot more comfortable.
Yeah, dude, but Mitzi, she's not here and she doesn't give a fuck about your hat. But not even a showcase experience, but like any experience, it got me conditioned to go, all right, cool. Like, just to get in the habit of if something didn't go the way you planned, think about why and learn from that. And that's, it's cliche, but just even developing the skills to go, okay, cool. Like when things happen that I didn't anticipate or plan on or want to go that way, I can choose how I want to respond, and instead of getting down and pissed about it, like find a way to use that as fuel for the next shit,
I think that's really good advice.
I added shit in there because I was hearing myself start to sound too preachy and too heady. So I go, and so you can prep for the next bullshit.
Shit.
That's the truth.
And shit, dog.
I used to love when guys would add I had a buddy that would add fucking before everything. So he'd be like, he's like, oh man, I want to get some fucking gum. I was like, not necessary, man, unless you are about to fuck and there's a product called fucking gum. I know
comedians that do that in their act where they'll say fucking in between jokes and I go,
use those F-bombs sparingly.
You could get a lot more. None of your act needs to have fuck in it. You could be a clean comedian, but you just add
so I was driving my fucking car. Yeah. There is something great. I would like to see a comic that just leans into it. And he's like, so my girlfriend's like, yo, man, our place smells bad. So I was like, well, then why don't you get some fucking candles and light those fucks?
Or someone who just does.
So I lit the motherfuckers.
They just add fuck.
It smells fucking good.
What if it's like a clean cut nerdy guy, like
oh, that's the best. Like a McLovin type character.
Yeah, McLovin, and then he adds fuck just to make. That'd be pretty funny.
So I went to visit my fucking grandma.
That fucking bitch.
She's fucking eating her pills and stuff like fucking cookie dough.
Well, I'm glad you're doing good, man. Say hi to your stepdaddy and mommy for me. And
not gonna. I might. I'll say to my stepdad for you.
Yeah,
my stepmom actually.
Stepdaddy.
Yeah. Hey, tweet at us for this episode. #stepdaddy.
Daddies are popular right now.
Really?
Just in life, the word daddy, I feel like, is having a pretty good comeback.
Thanks for having me, Ari. It's at Adam Ray Comedy on Twitter and Instagram. The podcast is about last night. All my tour dates at adamraycomedy.com. I'm on a couple cartoons right now. She-Ra on Netflix through DreamWorks.
Wow, a lot of name dropping there. Netflix. You didn't need to say the DreamWorks.
Well, at least I'm on there.
It's on Netflix, but you had to drop that it was made by DreamWorks.
For sure, that matters.
Hey, relax.
DreamWorks made Shrek and Madagascar, if you're familiar.
Yeah.
Also, I'm on Netflix for cartoons, not for stand-up. So I feel like I got to take it where I can get it. I like that.
But no, my brother works for the Netflix stand-up department. You got to be so famous to get a Netflix stand-up special right now.
Taylor Thomason got one. She's not super famous.
Yeah, but you're a straight white guy.
It's so tough, huh?
it adds a little. It's.
I've had so many. Here's again how you when you know the dial is starting to get turned in your favor. I think it was Barry Katz actually. He said to me once, where he was like, when you're crushing, you're at all these rooms and you're crushing 10 times in a row.
Yeah, I heard him say that thing. Yeah, when you're the best 10 times in a row.
Yeah, and I feel at a good spot to where I'm bringing it every time. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And I know what I'm doing, and I know.
Yeah, you're a pro.
Yeah, and also just again getting to a point where I like what I'm talking about. I like who I am on stage. Which again takes. 2 years ago, I felt like I liked that. I like it even more now, but just from all the reps and the experience and the, whatever. But more people in the last year than other years asking, the whole like, when's your thing? When's that? And you try to take that in and go, okay, cool. It's not thousands. So then you go, that's probably also why maybe it's not happening. But, it's tough to not chalk it up and go, because my heart does want to go, oh, I'm a straight white dude. And you hear what they say. But then I try to turn it on myself and go, yeah, but if you're dope, you should break through and get to the right spot.
Well, for me, it's just like my goals have changed. When I started stand-up, I was like, I want to do whatever. I want to do new faces. I want to do a late night set. And I want to do all these things. And now it's like, yeah, those things would have been cool or would be cool.
And they are still little benchmarks.
Yeah, and they're still benchmarks. And it's not that I don't want those things.
What's the
but now I go, I just want to make it on my, I just want to get a following and do what I love to do.
Well, the outline has changed, and you don't have to. There's not a blueprint like there was, so you can create your own path, and you're doing that. But there are still. I mean, look at a guy like Andrew Schultz, who's truly just not using the industry and using his resources to grow. And you don't have to, and Rogan even too, like he's not fucking with TV shows and movies or stuff. He's just in his lane and doing that and reaping all the benefits.
Exactly.
But that's what he wants. But guess what? If he wanted to, but using Netflix for stand-up and stuff like that, but if he wanted to probably go into Netflix and be like, hey, I want a TV, I want a TV show, or I want to, and Burr's doing that. I want to produce the thing.
Yeah, they would do anything that he wanted.
Yeah, which is kind of, seems like making it so they feel like you don't need them, and then they're like, but we need you now.
Exactly. That's when they want you. Yeah. Oh, do you like it?
But that being said, can your brother help me get a 30?
You're in. Hey, consider it done.
Does he know who I am?
I'm sure he knows who you are. Do you like it when your girlfriend calls you daddy during lovemaking?
Thanks for having me, bud.
You're welcome. Thanks for doing it.
Yeah.
Bye.
Thanks, bud.
Bye.
You're listening to
Unlicensed Therapy with Ari Manis.